ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Welcome back. Welcome cap. I can't even.
Australian. You were going straight for Up on Gangnam Style or something.
I don't even know where that came from. It's ESL Pro League, ladies and gentlemen. I can't speak the English language, so I've brought a non-English speaker with me to actually help me out here. It is Vendetta and Mitch, obviously from the colonies over in Australia.
Another non-English speaker, apparently, is what I'm told.
Exactly. So it's EnVy versus Astralis. We just saw Astralis. Probably should have had a bigger score than they did, only down to EnVy's 2 pistols. But now we're moving on to Inferno. Firstly, let's talk about Devil, because Kyo tended to play around pit and sort of A-site area. We're assuming he's going to slot into the same old role?
I would be surprised if he didn't, especially from what we've seen in the couple of EnVy games we've seen with Devil. He's been playing Kiyoshima's positions for the better part of it. So would expect the same kind of thing of it. It's going to be interesting to see what EnVy are going to be able to do, though, because Inferno has been one of their stronger maps since basically their inception.
Yep.
And whether or not they're going to be able to do that. Unfortunately for them, they're going up against Astralis, who are
pretty good
on Inferno as well.
Look, arguably their best map, I mean, to be fair. But, you know, even with that, it's, I think, a 50-50 split between these two teams on map wins in recent times as well. So that's telling you, even on EnVy's best map, they're still having problems with Astralis in general. Even if we're seeing them on Inferno here, remains to be seen. Like you said, we'll probably see Devil just try and slot in. I mean, it makes more sense for one player to adapt to a team than a whole team to adapt to a player, generally speaking. So I'll be interested to see again how he performs. I mean, he's being held to quite a high standard. I mean, the ruler is being applied to him, but so far, so good, I think.
Yeah, we've not seen a great deal of Inferno from EnVy since MBK took over as in-game leader, have we?
No, we really haven't. I think we've seen it once in Pro League versus, I think it was Fnatic, and they got stomped pretty heavily.
Yep.
Other than that, we have to go back to Star Ladder around that time where they happened to play us. Well, then
which was like the first month when Nathan was in charge.
So we haven't seen all that much. I still think it's a map that they should be able to play. And worst comes to worst, you can actually let Happy, chip in, help you out if you're struggling. If MBK is struggling as an in-game leader on that map on the T sides or whatever. So they're still going to work as a team. So I wouldn't be too worried about MBK taking the charge and taking the reins of the in-game leading being too much of an issue for EnVy on this map.
And speaking of MBK, didn't have the best of first maps. Not so good for him. Tends to be a pretty decent entry fragger for EnVy themselves. So as soon as he's having problems, immediately the team's going to have problems. I mean, also he's put the added pressure on himself. It's like, I'm also the in-game leader now, guys.
Yeah, no, I think the stress of being an in-game leader and kind of have to worry about what 4 others are doing, especially when with a new member coming into the team as well. Kind of want to coddle him and make sure he's doing all right. It's a lot of focus to put on everything except for just shooting people in the head, right? I think it's going to bounce back, though. He's normally one of the more consistent players you can find in CS, so him having an off day probably means he's going to bounce back stronger for this one.
Yeah, we'll hope so. You guys at home, don't forget to check out the Score Esports app as well. Want to get you guys involved. You can get that over on Google Play or iOS, and that'll give you the score stats, articles, and much more. We haven't had a hot match of the week yet, actually. I'll keep my eye on that one. Inferno. Obviously, we were just looking at the scoreboards. This puts Astralis in a very good position. They're now 9-2 in the league. Their 2 losses came from Na'Vi right at the end of the start of the season. And G2, they split 1-1 with both of them. And we were just talking about this in terms of league performances. You're looking at the top. You got 9-1. 9-2, 9-1 NIP, 9-2 Astralis, and now 7-1, which you expect Fnatic to go 9-1. They're playing tomorrow. This is really causing a problem because the likes of EnVy, your G2s, your VP, not VP, they're not going to be fighting for nothing. They're fighting to stay alive. FaZe are in action today. These guys are all fighting effectively for that number 4 slot at the moment, unless some of these top teams really start dropping maps.
There's only 4 slots. That's the thing. When you look at EnVy and you see that they've already dropped five games so far, you have to be starting to sweat a bit, especially when you've got quality teams up there like Na'Vi, who are looking very, very good to slide into that 4 spot, your G2 and your FaZe, who are in the mix. You know, with NIP up the top now as well, so maybe surprisingly for some, that obviously reduces those possible slots there to get into that top 4.
I think that's a big thing as well. The fact that NIP are doing so well as they are, that's probably unexpected for most people, even the
It's a
teams
little
playing.
assisted, but they can't help that.
Yeah, no, that's not their fault. You know, they're going to take advantage of what they're given to them. So that probably people would have expected NIP to be a potential fourth team for that qualifier spot.
I know
but
over
not
the last
a top
2 seasons, it's been like 6 or 7 losses is the max, and you won't make that 4th spot.
Yeah.
In case you guys at home don't know, it is the top 4 that qualify through in Europe and the top 4 from America. At the moment, America is Luminosity Optics, Selfless, and Renegades. That will obviously change. There's a lot of games to be played still yet between those guys. But let's have a look at it. I mean, I can see EnVy are on 5 losses, Na'Vi are on 4 losses, G2 are on 4 losses. That's a really harsh close-up. I just noticed on the side of the screen. FaZe are on 4 losses, and SK are on 4 losses. Even Flipside are on 4 losses. Not that they've got a win yet, but don't expect them to be in there. Basically, Flipside and Virtus Pro are going to be fighting for that last
got their own
spot. SK
battle.
themselves, they've already got 2 wins on the board. They had 2 great wins on the board, so they're already looking pretty good. Should just remind you, bottom place is auto-relegation. Basically, you no chance of fighting for it, which is harsh at best. And 11th and 12th is the relegation battle.
The playoffs.
We're expected to see Virtus Pro down there. They're playing, obviously, next against G2. They're going to have to step up their game because that next level, the Premier League, is not bad. This is where, obviously, Flipside just came from. The likes of Penta are down there as well. We're probably going to see them having a bit of a resurgence at some point. Really is a tough old task for these guys down the bottom of the league.
Yeah, no, it really is. And VP, especially just being VP, you can't really afford to be relegated. That's just how it is. You're expecting the best league in the world to have the best teams in the world, and VP used to be one of those. So now, I think that just out of pride, they have to make sure that they get a couple of wins under their belt to just not make sure that this is kind of like the worst performance of any team ever in the league.
At the moment, Penta are up the top there, so they're likely to be in there. Ents are there, Hellraisers are there. There's some real tough old competition, so they just slip down that low.
And a quick calculation as well, with the round difference that VP have, they're losing their maps by an average of 6 rounds. The average is 6 rounds. Like 16-10 is not a pretty scoreline for the grizzled veterans, of course, of Virtus Pro. And the implications for them to drop down, obviously, is massive for them personally, of course, in that team. So, but already having played 14 maps, winning one of them, snatching one away, I think from, I'm not even sure who it was earlier on the day. And one from EnVy earlier on.
Cobblestone of all maps.
Yeah, we went to double overtime,
So not good for them, of course. We've already harped on them a little bit, maybe a little bit harsh. But yeah, I mean, I think the top 4 is going to be shaping up interesting, but the bottom 2 are looking fairly set in stone at this stage.
I'd like to see you call in Pasha a grizzled veteran.
I don't know. It'll be like trying to fight a grizzled bear, I think. I wouldn't bother with that one. Grizzled polar bear, as it were. Not into that one, sorry.
Anyway, that's enough from the community outreach program. Thank you very much for that one, Pansy.
Right,
let's get over to the casters. Astralis EnVy is ready to go. It's going to be Pansy and Moses. It's the Poses pair.
It's not a community outreach program. It's a League of Legends outreach program. You guys are welcome here anytime you'd like to come have some fun.
I'm glad you said it and not me. You can take that hit. I'll roll with the punches.
Bring it.
Yeah, Moses is here for this, basically. He makes me seem like a good person, which is absolutely wonderful. But Inferno coming up next. Mitch breaking down some incredible stats already. You know, lots of math during the break. Clearly something that I avoid at all costs.
He said it was on the spot, but you know he did it like before live.
That's rubbish. Like even I have like my piece of paper here with like, you know, cheaty notes on it. Like I'm not buying what he's selling there. Sorry, Mitch, but to be fair, he is not exactly, you know, a silly man. He does have some sort of brains behind the brawn, so he certainly knows what he's talking about there. But let's start talking about this matchup. There was almost a fly-through. We had a glimpse of Inferno, but the knife round has started. Yeah, we all get excited by Inferno.
Yeah, this is interesting because this used to be one of the strengths of EnVy was this map, and specifically it derived from their ability to win those force buy rounds that we've seen become like that double-edged sword, where it hasn't had success for them lately, and that's kind of where they've been, you know, living and dying, is not having the success on the force buys that they used to have. But this was that map where they were just so good at bowling their way into bomb sites, even in low economic situations, always able to find that first kill and overrun a site very, very quickly. Since we're not seeing that out of them recently, it kind of actually, I mean, this kind of scares me a little bit for them.
Yeah, it's curious, isn't it, when you see these teams kind of going through the phases of, okay, well, this works for us, but then what happens when it doesn't? And then you see every other crack start to actually show, which no one probably would have questioned when Envy were on point. Envy, jeez almighty, I am real on it today. But yeah, like, we're starting to see maybe some of the bigger issues that could have plagued Envy a lot earlier, but only came to the forefront now. But still, it's Astralis on the CT side. Mitch, it's nice to see you too. It was a lovely little wave you did as you went past. And as I said, Envy on the T side, Astralis on the CT side, and we're already seeing a bit of a presence towards B.
Yeah, a bit of a presence is an understatement. All 5 members here. Here come the nades, the FOP flash. Zipnix dodges it, falls away, smoke is out. Now they've just got to contain him. Are they going to push through? Second flash comes in, blind Zipnix. He gets behind cover, but they have so much pressure put on him, and he's got to fall back. Can't get the crossfire set up adequately. Kerrigan now has to hold on, but Happy's taken out Cajun, and this bomb site is overrun entirely.
The Frenchmen have conquered the B site, and great stuff from Happy, just powering through towards CT, leaving Device the last man in this. No one actually playing Banana just yet, so it's probably going to be Kenny to spot him more Apex if he spins around. As Device going to be trying to sneak his way in. Not going to get too far. Kenny's going to hold it down on Envy with a 4-player standing B plant, just solid as you like. And that's exactly how you'd expect them to want to start this.
Yeah, that double flash from NVK was perfect, because the first flash pushes Zipnix back, the smoke goes down, the second flash comes over the wall before the defenders can get behind cover, so it actually catches Zipnix out off guard, so they can't set up that, that crossfire with one towards Garden, one towards New Box. And without that crossfire, that's the only defense they had there. So it was a swift overrun from Envy. So that was very nicely executed. Back to B again for the French side.
Rinse and repeat this time, though. 2 more players to go through. They may predict this at this point, and wow, NVK just flies in and does the work with the SMG. Okay, so suddenly B's all theirs again. Losing out on 1 player, not the end of the world, but Happy going hunting. 2 players to locate. Dupree's got armor as well with that CZ, so worthwhile taking down Kerrigan. Just with the scout, but Dupree's playing a bit of a cheeky angle here. It's going to be hard for Happy to get him out of that, and if anything, he's just going to hold this, maybe see if anyone crosses out, may go searching later into the round. Yeah,
not looking at jumping up for the moment. Normally, saving counter-terrorists at this point are trying to make their way over towards the T side of those apartments and houses, and now actually this is heard out as Happy going to check it 3 close to the left, wins that battle with the CZ. But still, a couple more players from Envy are coming over to investigate. They don't want to lose too much. Not a huge deal as well, because they also have SMGs, but with these players firmly entrenched in their positions, NBK decides to just back off. No need to rebuy your armor into this round. 3 kills for NBK, though. He built up some bank.
Yeah, really good stuff from NBK, and I think this was said on the desk. He didn't have the biggest play on train. He was a bit quiet compared to, I guess, your NBK standards. But it's nice to see him kind of maybe taking a little bit of a step back into this very early into the game. Get his confidence building up more than anything. Not about doing too much damage here, really. I'm sure that anyone else at that point could have done the same here. But Apex, it was actually NBK to get that. It was actually NBK to get that kill. I thought it was Apex then.
I did too, actually.
It was like the perfect aim on it, but merely a lie. Anyway. Should be a quick one here. No tag actually coming off the back of that. Kerrigan had about 30 bodies to look at. And look at this again. Envy just going hell for leather. No messing around. Device quickly backing away. Instant rotate from Astralis. And you're seeing a huge performance out of this one. Envy going full Fnatic in this, wrapping around CT Arch, taking every fight they can and winning every single one of them.
Yeah, now they have control of CT. Now they can just wait. Cajun's going to be here. He's going to take a fight. He's going to lose that. The AK-47 of Apex chimes in as well. Down goes Kerrigan. So now, 4th round. How many of these SMGs are kept by the Envy side? Looks like NBK is going to consider keeping that MP7.
All right.
Device has the AWP, but he has no armor behind this. It's glass cannon, so he's got to be very careful. He does have a spawn for that mid pick, so he could go for 1 quick kill here. See if he catches anyone coming up the stairs, and actually that looks exactly what he's going to do. Slides out, doesn't see anything. The nades come out. He just dodges the flashbang, just plays it safe. Once again, Envy. This is how they started this half out. These 4-1s, 4 members towards the B bomb site. Happy lurking all on his own. It's going to attempt it to be a contact B play here. Apex is going to turn the corner. Smoke goes down, but it's too late. They're already in. Zipnix has to swing out wide, and he exposes himself far too much. Here's Kerrigan, though. 2 kills for him. Holds on for dear life. Kenny's the only one left in the B bomb site. He's going to smoke things off and fall back as Kerrigan is on the lurk, and Kenny's going to trust him to keep this route open.
But Dupree's got this angle. It's who hits the shot first. Stunning adjustment from Happy will give a shot towards his side. But Kenny could be walking right into the eyes and hands of Cajun B there. Who's going to get the second as well? Well played from the Astralis boys not to overread into that massive B hit. Starting to understand maybe there's always going to be that player there on the lurk on that jump off, which has generally been Happy. But again, Kerrigan with the opening nade doing a great deal of damage towards Envy. And then the spray down. But this fast, aggressive Envy is actually pretty deadly here.
Yeah, this is very close to them making their way. I mean, you just look at that. Zipnix has to try and get that first kill, and it's just fortunate Kerrigan with that spray connects to the second kill. If not, that's a B plant in a really tough situation for Astralis to be. So that round's a little bit on a knife's edge, but they win it. At least Dupree can get armor behind this, and he does find the first kill. That's onto Kenny. So the fast aggression towards Banana gets punished. They pay for that Banana control.
Now, NBK's the only one on here now. The rest of Envy are all over towards second mid. Are they going for boost yet? They are boosting up to try and peer in towards that window. See if anyone's trying to take that apartment's control early. No one actually is. That was Apex then, as Rush confuses how to actually go back to first person. But we are going to be seeing the setup here. At least a touch towards maybe getting the smokes, towards maybe pit. Molly in towards the bedroom, clear that out. And they're being very, very methodical in the way they're approaching taking App's control. That could easily assist in towards taking this A site.
Yeah, the question is how aggressive does NBK want to get trying to peer into this B bomb site? Smoke comes out just as he does, so it's going to stall him out just a little bit. Still 3 members over towards A and still no movement. Device has an op on mid, so he can tell his teammates when they come up, but he's just going to take one shot and fall away. He won't stick around. Cajun and Dupree are playing very, very passive defense at this A site. So Device has got to make sure it works out. That first kill is going to help him out. New position, he relocates, and no one from Envy really pressuring him whatsoever.
Oh, Devil though, what was that shot? Coming straight out, taking the fight, and he's going to carry on like this. He wants to get up close and personal towards this one. Cajun B is in, well, I guess graveyard at the moment, doing some good damage, but it was a one and done. Devil's found him. Good work from Devil on towards the CT Arch play, just wrapping around perfectly. Going to try and get the follow-up. A little too much to handle there as Kerrigan came through finally on that rotate, leaving just Happy in this, and he's no longer for this world as Kerrigan again shutting down these gun rounds with some very impressive play late into the round this time, but credit goes then to Devil, I feel, to be able to take down not only O's Device, I feel, O's on CT Arch, taking that bit of a swing out play on it, a bit dangerous, but works out so well, and then finding Cajun down by that graveyard area, really well played.
Yeah, it does the economic damage as well, because you can see there's no AWP on the Astralis side. In fact, for most teams, they probably have a correct buy here. That this would be a save round out of the Terror side. They have the MP7s, the SMGs, but armor respawn. Doesn't matter when those nades soften everybody up. What an incredible nade stack. Envy gets caught completely off guard. If it weren't for those nades, it might have been a little bit scary, because the SMGs against the armored Tech 9s could have been a swift loss, but so much damage is dealt in that tight choke point. Now, Envy, you can't force buy. You can't half buy into this.
You say this, but no, they can't. They really
Every
really
time
can't.
I say that with Envy, I just like hold my breath.
Well,
I'm like, please. All right, so they do a little bit of a half buy.
They're okay there. The thing is I love about this map with Astralis is the aggression down mid. It's generally Dupree who can do this, and Device is going to do it this time. Plowing straight down. This time they can be aware of this on the NB side, and they're going to line up for them, but actually the nades causing a little bit of confusion. They're not able to see through them just as perfectly as they'd like for Astralis, but Dupree getting down too. But this is a costly trade, considering there's only pistols on the NV side. There's a lot to be recovered here. NBK dashing out, trying to get the bomb to hand, making a mad run towards B, and actually B is all theirs, and Devil has the rifle, has a flash too, can put that down towards CT, make sure NBK can cross. Actually, Astralis are pretty far out of this.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a round that could be easily won by Envy at this point. A little bit too aggressive for Astralis, doing the same tactic twice in a row. This time Envy sees the nades and respond accordingly. And now look how low Dupree and Device are. It's going to make this so difficult. Devil gets aggressive, finds 2 kills. That pretty much seals the deal. Device has 4 HP. He might not even want to go for this. He might want to see if he can find a rifle to salvage and just fall back. But he's going to continue forward with that SMG, at least for the moment. But this is a round that he should not be able to win, even with the smoke on the bomb.
He does have a kit. For whatever that matters. And don't do this to me. There we go, MBK. Thank you. The Devil being the one to keep that round together.
4 kills for him. That was really nicely done. So Astralis get punished.
And the thing is that you do see Dupree doing that a hell of a lot by himself, just pushing down mid towards, I guess, the bench and just holding second mid play up. And then Device will create the crossfire with him, looking down. And it's actually quite effective, but this time a little bit overzealous. Everyone doing the nade stack again. And that time Envy had kind of got themselves towards the bottom of Banana. So a little bit of a different style there coming out. And Device and Kerrigan going to try and get that Banana control. NDK and Kenny going to be on the other side of it. And while this begins as well, second mid getting a lot of attention from the T side.
Yeah, 3 players here at the B bomb site as well for Astralis, making sure that that Molotov's going to isolate Kerrigan. He's under some trouble, but he wins that first battle. It's Kenny's turn now, and the flashbang comes out, completely blinds him. Good find from Kenny. Now he can fall away, so he's even things up in a 4-on-4. Device is still here, though, so Kenny's going to play this very, very passively, and Device actually might get aggressive, so he's going to get caught out. It's Kenny. Nice peek from Device, finds that kill, gives him another man advantage. Now it's all down to Devil, Apex, and Happy, who still haven't moved across the map from all mid.
It's not exactly an unknown factor. There's generally Carrigan and Zipnik's playing over on that B side, so seeing Device may give an indication. Hell, there's only going to be a couple of players here. Might as well make the play while we can. Apex going to try and get that shot towards CTR. She's going to get the angle as best he can, but there's still 3 players pretty much here. Device got over pretty early, and he's going to find Apex just lingering around. Now, the last 2 for Envy. Going to have to run a bit of a gauntlet. Devil and Happy. Devil's done some great stuff finding Dupree, but look at Cajun B. This timing could be everything. He could play that smoke so well, but the bomb is down. We're down to a 3v2, and still a flash on Devil.
They have no idea Cajun's here still, so I mean, the Cleaner is going to get some free kills. At least 1 onto Happy. Now it's just Devil inside the site. He falls as well.
You're never going to stop calling him the Cleaner, are you?
I'm so obsessed with it. It's amazing.
I really want to get him like a maid's outfit, just for the sake of it. Did you not see the video of him dancing as well? Like, there's
Yeah,
so
I
many
did.
great
That was
things.
good. That was a really good GIF.
GIF. Don't you dare do this to me.
Whatever. Whatever it's called. I do not win the internet today.
No, there is no winning. Wow, that sound.
That's winning.
Did you just reverse that? did Cajun B just give birth to Happy then? That's how it
beautiful.
sounds. All right, so Device going to go back in for the that's really disturbing. Flash comes out. And nothing to be seen. So again, this 4-1 play coming through, but look at this. Astralis now trying to get control of the apps. Maybe unhappy with the fact that actually Envy have been working towards this, but this is the switch up. This is Envy again going back into this B play that was fast, aggressive, and actually pretty deadly before. This time Carrigan's gone. It's down to Zipnix to keep it together. He's going to back away, get in towards Ruins. It's going to be Devil then trying to get a little bit of a sneak through then to try and watch those CTs get up close and personal, but there we go. Bomb is going to be planted now. We're into a 4v4.
Yeah, these contact pushes from Envy are so difficult to stop. Just no indication it's coming when you don't have control of the car. One of the few rounds Astralis hasn't pushed out towards car, at least initially. They get punished for a more passive setup, and now it's going to be such a tough retake. Flashbangs, a lot of utility still on the side. The Molotov's going to flush him out. Nice flash, though. NBK has 2 of them lined up. He's going to get a 3rd as well. There he is. He shows up. Nice round from NBK.
Natural born killer showing his face finally after what seemed like an absolute lifetime of these kind of big plays in the quieter rounds, but now finding a little bit more when it mattered. And look at this lineup. You could see it coming a mile off, just like, no, Astralis, don't do it.
It was beautiful. I mean, the pop flash that just grouped them all up blind was so perfect. I mean, that's the thing. Those contact pushes, no utilities used. Not on either side. That's just Envy exploding on the bomb side. So they have all the nades that they bought, and they pick up all the nades on the CT side as well. So they have so much extra utility to use throughout that round. They can just bomb flashbangs in there, and NBK comes on the winning side of it. And Dupree, speaking of winning and losing, he doesn't get away. He loses.
Thank you for highlighting that. I wasn't sure if that was a winning moment when you get caught just shot in the ass. What a moment. And it is only pistols for Astralis. P250s at most of 5-7, I think, just get taken out of the hands of Carrigan. So no armor, no flashes, and Envy with a nice passive posture is happy, waiting to be fed here. There's a first. Not going to get the second. Device will get that AK and make a mad dash for it. Don't know if he's going to get away from this one, though.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that they really allow him to keep this AK-47 into the next round. You've already got NBK pushing up towards CT spawn. Apex is making sure he can't get out of halls. It's going to be all in this battle, actually. And NBK comes leaping in the air. He had to have just not expected Device to be there already. But still, Device has a long way to go.
Full-on Spider-Manning just around the corner. All right. As you said, though, he did get a little bit of damage actually taken off NBK, which is a little more impressive than anything, I feel, that NBK was able to adjust, but...
He actually might get away with this now that there's not a lot of money for Envy to go on the hunt. So he's actually found a little bit of gap in this post-plant positioning where he can escape. He's coming down mid. And actually, is he going to find him? Nope, he's just chilling. So Device is going to get away with an AK-47. It's going to be a 6th round for Envy. This is a really good terrace half. This is falling back towards those strengths that they've had on this map previously, is keeping the money low of the CT side and just grinding it out, and eventually you win a round and you reset them, and you can see how effective it is. Astralis hasn't been able, and that was their strength on train. Once they gained control of the money situation, Astralis was able to run away with both of those halves. Here they haven't been able to do it quite yet.
And Devil's at the forefront of this. He is having a very good game. He's had some very big rounds. I think there's 4 kills in one round, if I'm not mistaken, or at least 3. So certainly a big impact here. Maybe feeling a bit more comfortable in the role he's playing on this one, or just fitting in better. Maybe starting to lose a little bit of those, you know, nerves coming through. So good for him. On the other side of things, though, Astralis going to have to operate at a little bit of a loss now. Down to still a fair amount of utility, but not too much to play with. And Astralis this time going to forego trying to take that control towards apartments, and Envy will start their assault.
Yeah, no presence over towards Banana this time, and Device has pushed out, so he now knows exactly that there's no one available, no one present at this side of the map. So you could see Zipnik starting to cheat over. This is going to be a very, very difficult to execute for Envy to break, especially because there's a crossfire over here towards Halls. 3 members are going to come out. It's going to be Cajun and Dupree to guard this, and the Molotov just goes down. That's going to slow things down, but they're going to run right through it with the smoke. Dupree is completely blind. Oh, they stop. I think they had to have gotten stuck on a wall.
I'd assume so, otherwise I don't know why they'd stop, but the crossfire is absolutely sublime from Astralis thus far. KGB and Zipnik's doing very well. Happy just couldn't make the shot, then completely lost in the smoke. And now MBK's all alone going, why wall? Why did you do this to us? We had everything going for us, and now they have absolutely nothing.
They had like a good 2-second window to execute where they had an advantage, because Zipnik's was completely blind behind the pole. It was only Cajun, and that's an easy trade-off. Unfortunately, when the first player trying to come out eventually finds the right, the entrance inside that smoke, he's the only one who goes out. So that strategy just collapses from Envy. Looks a little bit uglier than it should have.
See, and this is why I can't wait to see NIP on Inferno again. I'm hoping during the major we get to see that, because they were the ones starting to really try and build plays off the back of working through apartments, especially on the T side, which is a bit of a rarity because it is such normally a kind of meat grinder affair, but again, Astralis this time, going to try and take the apps control, so kind of in and out between how they play this one. Device is the solo man towards A, I guess, holding this primarily. And Envy again, slowly building through second mid. Devil, Apex, and Happy have been at the forefront of this. Kenny and MBK working down Banana, not giving that control up just yet. But now they hear the steps. They hear the small bits of wood being chipped away from Bedroom, and there you have it. Envy have control of the apps. Now it's just Device, and great stuff with the P250 towards Happy, just trashing him back. Or was that even a P250? I'm not even sure. I think that was a P2K. It's now Device having to deal with everything coming towards him. Kenny's the one with the bomb, though. He's still stuck in apps. Going to take a bit of a different route here and actually might head back to B.
Yeah, he was alone with the bomb, so didn't want to put pressure on Halls. Also, the rotation comes in just in time to keep a spot on Rap side, so Device could be a little bit more safe. And now, Kerrigan, he's misread this. MBK and Devil going towards CT spawn. Probably here's the footstep. He's definitely going to spot it now, but he loses that battle. MBK takes him out, so Zipnik's got a huge job to do, and he's positioned over at tree. He's going to hear these. He's going to have to just gamble that he's clear from that side. He's going to swing out a little bit farther, but MBK spots it at the last second. Device left all alone in a 1-on-3. This should be another round for Envy. And the economy is going to get reset, but Astralis has been able to build up enough money they'll be able to buy next round.
Good stuff from Envy, though. Very impressive. Again, if it feels like if Astralis do try and get that apps control, they trade at least well initially, but I've very rarely seen them be able to take all 3 players out, gain complete dominance off the back of it, and seeing again it costing them a little too much into this. But Device, as you said, going to be able to survive in this round. I doubt anyone's going to go quite too close. Envy very cautious of maybe someone being around the side. Devil's sticking pretty close by. Excuse me. And so far, I think we can highlight again that Envy are having a very good T-side. This is something, the confidence they're playing with, the kind of fluidity to their play is very impressive. MBK and Devil, very much at the forefront here. Kenny not really had much of an AWP play at this point, but now I'm going to really look towards seeing what he can do, because I used to really like the combo of him and Apex. Apex always baiting out the first shot, jumping over and allowing Kenny the kind of play towards ideally CT Arch, but Device showing some real kind of diversity to his play has been quite impressive as well. So, 5-7 now. Astralis need to get back into this game, otherwise they're going to have to work damn hard on their T side.
This is now the kind of economy that op can really come into play from Kenny, where it can be so hard on the T side because you're constantly smoked and flashed and naded in these choke points. Now that the money's a little bit light on the Astralis side, they do have a decent amount of nades, but at a certain point it's going to start giving up, and Device is getting spammed through the box, but he's still going to find that kill. NBK doesn't even realize he was there. He's just doing it as precaution, and Device just slides out, finds a free one. And now complete control of Banana means Zipnix is going to rotate off. Device just sticks around Carve, 4 members towards the A bomb site. And Envy have no advantages on the board quite yet.
And I like Device putting the smoke down there as well, just to even further hinder Envy wanting to turn around. But at this point, they actually do manage to find Kerrigan. So now where do they want to go on this? They've got to pick towards A, but do they want to follow it? It would have seemed maybe they'd be going this direction.
have a minute and 10, and Happy probes up into the halls. He gets punished for that. I would have expected them to go back towards B and at least try and force Device out, use some utility, use some Molotovs and nades to put him back into the site, force Xyp9x to make a decision on which side he wants to stay at, if he wants to cheat towards A or split the defense into a 2-on-2. Either way, Kenny's going to open another thing up. A kill onto Dupree. It's a nice shot. Now they can lean towards this wrap side smoke off CT spawn, so Cajun is going to have a lot of pressure put on him here pretty soon. As Apex is going to slowly lurk up wrap side, and Cajun finds that. But now the bomb site, it's good advancement. Kenny misses that shot. That's a crucial kill, but Devil bails him out. Now Kenny can get into pit, have a good angle, but he gets flanked. Device there just in time, all on Devil inside the site.
Gonna pop flash out towards Quad, take the swing out on CT, and he just didn't get the shot right in time. Xyp9x will find it, and there is your retake. One and done. Device with that kill on Kenny was pretty vital at that point. If Kenny got set up in towards pit, that could have been a whole different situation.
Yeah, that becomes a difficult battle to win because Xyp9x would have been just exposed so far away, so much ground to cover against that ult. Either way, Astralis, they do just claw their way back into that round, despite Kenny evening things up a couple times throughout that. Still, the money is not very strong for Astralis. There's 2 rounds left into this half. And EnVy's just going to buy into it. They say, why not? 2 AK-47s, 3 Tech-9s. Could be interesting if they go back to that contact push
B.
at B, but Device has been getting very aggressive. They've got to be careful. Instead, they're just going to go up middle.
Okay, we're going to see that CT arch wrap again? I'm not too sure. It looks like no, they're going straight towards Quad and straight towards Dupree, who had everything laid out for him. But there we go, Cajun B, the cleaner, coming up and mopping what remains of EnVyUs, but Carrigan goes down, meaning it's all down to Cajun B here. Xyp9x and Device a little late on the rotate, but Cajun B doesn't care. He's going solo. He does a hell of a lot of work, but it does leave just MBK now. 1v2. He's got the bomb and a molly. Fakes it out. He's got Xyp9x and Device to find. He spots out Device, I think that was there. Molly goes down. He's perfectly fine to plant here. It shouldn't spread towards him. Now bomb planted. He has to play this to an absolute T. Gonna cut off one angle. Take the fire on the other. Spots out both. MBK gonna go big in this one. And what a shot towards Device. That second shot was unbelievable. And that's the MBK we haven't seen in a while.
That's an ace as well. That's a beautiful round from MBK. All 5 kills. I thought he was going to be in trouble. He missed that initial fake plant peek onto Device with that AWP. So I thought from there the round was kind of lost, but he recovers so nicely.
It's this one on towards Xyp9x.
Yeah, this is sick. But then just look at him control his recoil. These taps are so nice. He misses the initial burst on a Device, but just getting up and tapping and readjusting finds him at just the last second. Now look at this buyout of Astralis. This is no fun for them. Shotgun FAMAS, 3 upgraded pistols, very light on utility. They have to win this battle at Banana if they want any chance. If NBK and Kenny get any more aggressive than they are now, it has to be a clean victory for Astralis, and this Molotov is going to ruin some dreams.
Hopes and dreams dashed. Kenny S catching Carrigan on the try and make a little bit of a peek at the back of it. The smoke goes down to at least Xyp9x. Xyp9x, why do you do this? Device is sat there just scratching his head like that's just cruel.
I think Xyp9x was just spamming through the smoke.
Yeah. And Device, to be fair, Device made it out of like literally, made out of the fire and then into the crosshairs of a teammate. It's just wonderful for him.
That's really, really nice teamwork from NBK and Kenny though, because Kenny with that AWP just once that Molotov goes out towards sandbags, you almost feel as that player that you have to get aggressive because you know that angle is being held, so you almost have to push forward. Kenny's just waiting for that, so NBK can feel a little bit safe as he's recovering from throwing the Molotov. So nicely done from Envy early on. Still a 4-on-3 situation, slowly working the way up mid. Astralis has no indication this is coming, although Xyp9x has a good read on it. He's rotated around towards wrap side. And Kenny's going to be the first one to peek. Dupree is close up. Oh, and he spots one over towards pit. Devil has his back, though. Finds that kill onto Dupree. Cajun's still alive in pit. They know he's here. Swift execution in there. Xyp9x, Apex not aware that he had cheated over. So, small chance for Xyp9x to make this happen, but he's got Kenny's op trained on his position, and now he's smoked out.
3 flashes to go through. There's the first. Completely blind. No kit as well. This would have to be some monster level clutch, and Xyp9x is just like, how much can you throw at me right now? And there we go. Kenny puts him out of his misery as he was floundering in the end. And again, credit where it's due. EnVyUs on the T side looked like they had a bit of a kind of throwback to what used to make them so sick at it as well. You know, MBK with these great plays. You've had this contact, aggressive kind of B take that worked on the pistol rounds and then into the gun rounds as well. This is a little dangerous to see and a little scary for any other team watching. If EnVy start getting good at this map again, credit where it's due. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, this is why they always were that scary force on Inferno, is because even if they don't do that contact play, even if it has success once, then the defense of that bomb site is thinking, okay, we have to use our nades to like slow this down and not have to deal with it. And then all of a sudden you're forcing out Molotovs, you're forcing out smokes before you even put pressure onto the bomb site. So later on in the round, it opens up a lot of options to you. So Envy, I mean, at least looking good on this map that's in the past been one of their staples, which is cool to see. Devil having himself another good match. He looked good on train. He's looking good here.
Yeah, just solid. And that's I can imagine all they want right now. You don't need a superstar. You've got enough in that lineup, but a solid performer is all that you'd want at the moment. Thank you, Observer Rush, for showing us this glorious stuff. Oh, and the angle to follow. No wonder we're not paying you, freelancer. I kid. We pay him in peanuts. Don't worry.
Kolsch.
Literally.
Pay him in Kolsch.
Just Kolsch. Just a couple every now and then. Little red cup is great. But no, do give credit where it's due. And you guys at home, if you're wondering who is observing, God almighty, what is going on with me today? If you are wondering who's observing, it is Rushly12345 Don't even start. Don't even... Are you seeing this, Flame? Coming out from Rushly12345
He was talking to you, I think.
Well, I'm done on this. I'm done with this kid. Where's Steel when you need him? I miss you, Josh. But back to topic. Let's start talking about these two, because the T side looked promising from Envy. Quite nice plays. I'm trying to like throw my mind back to what made them so good on the CT side as well, and I actually can't remember, if I'm honest, because it has been a while since you've seen them being like super strong on this map in comparison to others, and you saw, you know, I guess some teams displaying that real nice aggression down banana, constant control, or apps control, you know.
Banana control is always crucial on this map, because it's a map where that pathway towards B, Banana actually acts as kind of like the mid portion of most maps, where you have to have control of it to be able to work both bomb sites at some stages. If you don't have control of Banana, you're basically confined towards the A site. So Envy has always been good at gaining that control, but one thing they used to do very, very well is they used to have this timing push into A apartments that was very effective. Like they won some tournaments based off it, just pushing into A halls like 30, 40 seconds into rounds. Terrace teams didn't expect it whatsoever, and it's a really gutsy play to make. It'd be cool to see them go back to it, because when you delay push those halls, you run that risk of the Terrace side being set up, but it catches a lot of teams off guard.
BK's can be flashed here. Now just off the corner from, I think that was Carrigan, utilizing one of the flashes he has. Still has the smoke and flash to put down as well, so a lot to be played with here. Astralis spread themselves out pretty much almost as default as you like across the map. You could almost draw a line down it. Dupree and Zibnik's trying to test over by those apartments. The smoke should be put down towards... Oh, it wasn't a smoke, tell a lie. It was the decoy being put down. So, at the moment, Astralis just running the clock down and giving away absolutely nothing. And Envy with a very passive hold. Look at Kenny and Devil all the way back there. Apex being the ones to get the information. And this is a lovely little smoke that Kenny can then just look above if needed. But it looks like Astralis are going to be hitting this B site at some point.
Yeah, the bomb's been here the whole time. The smoke and the flash have been here the whole time. Just taking over A apartments to make sure that third member of Envy can't cheat over towards the B bomb site. Now they have a huge advantage. MBK and Happy, they've got to do massive damage, but that flashbang at least puts MBK back a little bit. Now he gets scooshed up. Now entering into the bomb site. Device gets the first kill. Happy here with the silence USP. They didn't find him out initially, but they do clean him there eventually. Apex gets one, and he can actually stop the plant, and he does it. This is now a round that's very much in the favor of Envy.
That's an absolute sick bit of play from Apex coming in. Two insanely important kills. One to get control of those ruins, two to stop the plant, but just runs in. Why not, Apex? You did well at the start. Why not just stop there? And now Devil on the retake doing the damage, and it's just down to Dupree. Left in a 1v2. Bomb is not planted, as Apex did do that earlier work, and it's Devil again coming back in on these pistols. He was insanely good before on these, and I think we might be finding a bit of a star in these pistols rounds coming out, but initially, for me, it was all Apex.
Yeah, I mean, Apex stops the plant, buys time for the rotations. This is sick. A little confusing that Device goes down, and the two members at New Box were there to cover the planner, there to cover Kerrigan, and no one does it. No one reacted fast enough, so a little bit of an opening that Apex takes advantage of, eventually loses Astralis that pistol round. So, nade down mid. Not quite the same amount of damage as we saw coming up before from Astralis, doing like the nuke down mid, but at the moment just a couple of deagles here and there. 3 deagles to be
precise, and just 2P250s for Kerrigan and Zipnik. So anything's a bonus at this point for them. And against them, 3 SMGs, the UMP, I guess, kind of dances in between both, but great tag from Dupree then, taking out Kenny to 1 HP.
Yeah, I was confused about that as well. 1 HP on Kenny, so from the Deagle, that had to have been like a headshot, maybe through the wall, I guess.
Yeah. It's all unfortunate, I guess. However, moving on from that, it does mean at least Kenny's a little low, but he doesn't really need to do much. He can just be the nuisance on the site if needs must. Although the bomb yet to be taken over. Astralis still trying to find any chance here in this and just taking a lot of damage. Good stuff from Kerrigan though, finding Apex, meaning that Kenny's still up on the board, which is actually a vulnerability, and the timing on the reload, whether that was intended or not, absolutely great stuff from EnVyUs to find that on the perfect time and keep this round looking a little cleaner than it initially was. Kenny dying to take the swing out here, but he really can't afford to do it.
Yeah, there's Devil. Clean things up. Another 3 kill for Devil, so holding on very, very strong. You can see Envy playing that smartly, knowing they're going up against so many Deagles. They don't want to take those fights, don't want to peek and commit to those angles. Just making sure that the Deagles have to commit in towards a choke point. So nice second round from them. And then we've seen this out of Astralis. They're very comfortable just getting the Deagles, not investing in too much armor, too many nades, just trusting that they'll land a shot or two here or there that would open something up so they can keep moving forward without the smokes. Open up gaps in the defense. That time it doesn't work out to get him the win. Doesn't find him 1 kill. And from here, that nade just wrecks Device.
Get wrecked. 1 smoke, and that's all they have. Now they even have 4 players. Where the hell did that come from, KJB? Alright. Just going to find the kill on towards MBK. Little pop flashes over the top. Not quite catching deep enough towards flashing anyone else. And actually Zipnik has found Devil, and now here comes another one. KJB catches more out. They're making this costly as anything, as now you can see Zipnik's with a rifle, but what can he do with it? 2v2. Ooh, that nade. Doesn't quite catch on, but Kenny's aggression down mid will do the work, as now that bomb is left loose. And Zipnik now has to kind of run the gauntlet to retrieve it if he wants to.
Yeah, a bit of a bummer for Dupree, because he saw Zipnik's in the A bomb site. He's like, all right, that's clear. I'll go back and plant the bomb. Kenny pushed down mid, just clotheslies him before that idea comes to fruition. So 12-6. But yeah, good damage dealt. 3 kills found by Astralis in that round. No real investment as well. So look at, they can buy so much with these AKs now. They have Molotovs, they have smokes and flashes. Device debating whether he wants to go for the op, and he's gonna do it. Glass cannon.
Kind of dangerous. There's a lot of utility on the Envy side. Going to make it a little bit harder for Device to find these shots, but I guess you got to go for it at some point here. And Apex and Kenny give you the ones locking down CT Arch in duo. Smoke normally goes over towards Banana a little later from Kenny here, just towards the top side of things. And Astralis just going to have to bide their time.
Yeah, everything's smoked out at the moment. Top mid, that smoke just clears. No one is really there for Envy. Meanwhile, Astralis has taken over Hull's control. Device has complete banana control all by himself, so NBK and Happy both dedicated towards this B bomb site. They just smoke off the choke point. And all 5 members of Astralis, looks like they want to execute, gain back in control. The question is, do they push forward towards the A site, or do they just gain this and fall away? Envy, it doesn't really matter to them because they're playing this passive setup. They didn't get forced into this. They chose this setup. And Kenny on Rap side waiting with the AWP. He's going to be the heavy impact defender here.
So there's the first smoke going down towards CT Arch. The second lands pretty close to where Kenny is, and here comes the play. It's Astralis trying to break out of this one. Dupree and KJB end up trading things out. Dupree going down, of course, but now where do they go from this? Keeping the pressure up towards A. It's Kerrigan finding Kenny on the site. Devil's the one in pit, gets swept out by Kerrigan coming through there, and now down to this 4v2. Happy and MBK a million miles out from this one. And Astralis with a very, very proficient take towards this A site.
That had to have been a little bit of miscommunication between Apex and Kenny. I'm not sure why Kenny didn't stick around to fight on the Rap side while Apex is pushing through that smoke and getting aggressive. Kenny had that trade kill wide open to him, and then he can just sit comfortably at range. Instead, I mean, that's a mistake from him. Even his positioning inside the A bomb site entirely exposed, nowhere to fall back to, and not ready for that push-up lane. So clean round from Astralis. They're going to get their 7th. And because of some of the damage they've done, they might be forcing just, some upgraded pistols next round. NBK is going to save this. He'll have an M4. Apex can rebuy an M4, but Devil and Kenny are going to be really, really, I mean, they're in a tough spot. Happy might even have to buy a shotgun or a FAMAS.
See what they go for. As you said, the money is kind of weirdly spread out at the moment. And Kenny and Devil, the two you highlighted, who are going to have to go on those questionable buys if they maybe get dropped a pistol or two or, you know, helped out in some form. But at the moment, very light investment. No shotguns, just the pistols and no armor for Kenny and Devil. Let's be going in with the 5.7s, and Happy and Apex are going to supplement what they can do in this one, I guess, at this point. NBK, the only one standing with the rifle here.
And this is smart because they have 5-round lead so far. They still have plenty of rounds to play with. Don't put yourself in a bad money situation this early on. So they're going to play it conservatively. Although it looks like Astralis, they're going to go right at this M4. They don't know it quite yet. There it is. NBK spots one. Happy's hiding in oranges. Good kill from NBK. He is very proficient at defending this B bomb site. Gets a second one as well. There's Happy. Chimes in with one, and NBK drops device as well. This one M4 is just doing so much damage, and it's essentially won them this round.
Absolutely sick stuff from NBK, again being the pillar in the EnVyUs side, doing all of that work. And now Zipnik's desperate to find this kill, but he knows this one is looking all but done here. He does, of course, have the AK himself and a molly. Before to find, a minute to go. And really no damage dealt to the remaining players. It's going to be very, very tough. They do only have pistols on Devil and Apex, but the AWP on Kenny, the rifle on NBK is all they needed on that one. NBK will close down with 4 in the end. What a performance.
Yeah, even tosses an AK-47 over to Devil so that he doesn't have to invest in a rifle this round. That's nicely done. So NBK, the hero there, and it is going to be a tactical pause out of Astralis now because they are stumped. And with Envy this far ahead, I mean, Astralis, this could be a buy situation for them. 2 AKs and then some upgraded, some Tech 9s. They might have to just go for it when they're this far down.
Exactly. It suddenly becomes more of an issue of not how you'd normally face this round with that money. It's like, okay, well, look at the scoreline. How much can we afford to drop away from this now? And looking at the scoreboard, Devil, again, this guy's been doing very well. NBK has been the highlight throughout this game, though. He's had some incredibly impactful moments throughout it, in the big rounds, let's say. But Devil's certainly no slouch. Hello. Who's been doing their homework in between? Is that Mitch? It's Lee. There we go. How do you switch to that? It could have been a lot worse, considering.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah. Like, is it Stardew Valley? Might have been up there again if that was Mitch.
You guys have an issue about that Stardew Valley.
I haven't even started playing it. I got it today. Leave me alone. I just need a chill game, Moses.
The entire office here is just tainted with Stardew Valley.
I haven't even played it yet. I will eventually give myself
I know, that's the worst part. You haven't even touched it yet, and you've already been infected.
I'm waiting for my laptop to arrive, so it's like whenever I'm like stuck in a hotel with like no internet, it is my time. As you know, that every single hotel we ever go to, the Wi-Fi is dead as soon as all the teams arrive, and like it's great for the first day when you get, you're like, oh, this is wonderful. As soon as there's more than 3 people there, it's done. It's over. But we are back into this one, and we're seeing the buy-up from Astralis. It's everything they can afford at this point. Tech 9 for Carrigan, but a couple of Galils here and there, a UMP for Device. So this is not ideal. But then again, they have been chipping away at EnVyUs, but the little bit of brilliance that NBK brought to the front in that previous round completely shattered what they were building.
Yeah, which was interesting. I'm not like they went towards the B bomb site where NBK is known to play.
Yep.
And they didn't like test it out to see if the rifle was there. Yeah, they could have tested that out and gone back to the other bomb site, but it seemed like they just wanted to try and overrun it. Maybe assuming NBK would be at a different bomb site with that M4. Kenny now in middle though. He picks up that free AVP, completely blind. He just takes a shot, falls away. Apex is here as well to help out. He's just got a pop flash ready to go. As soon as Kenny shoots, he dropped this pop flash. But does Astralis actually test trap side? That's the question.
Again, this was where the coordination was off last time between Apex and Kenny. This time, Kenny's going to get madly caught out in the open. And Apex dashes through the smoke, tries to keep this one in check. He catches on towards Dupree as well. Brilliant little double follow-up then. And now Devil has to be the one to stop it playing out of quad. What a shot towards Zipnik's, but the bomb is going to go down. Or not, actually cancels the plant then, but it does allow Apex to pick up the kill. And Device was a million miles away from doing anything of value here. And there you have it. Happy catches him out. And this has been a good display from, I guess, Apex and Devil, but the coordination between him and Kenny, again, pretty lackluster.
That wasn't even coordination that time. That was just Kenny being out
Caught
a little bit wider than he thought. He was out in the open, completely blind. Maybe thought he was in some cover. Maybe thought he had a little bit more time. But yeah, Apex really saves the day on that round with those 2 kills. That pop flash through the smoke has been effective twice now. And that time even more so that the second kill that he get is just lost in the smoke trying to find him. And that flick by Devil, that was pretty sick. He's having a good game, as we pointed out a couple times. Now, It is the Tech 9 armor towards the B bomb site. 2 members, Device and Cajun B. The bomb is in alt mid. Dupree and Zipnix have control of A halls. The question is, when do they group up and where do they decide to go?
It's a bit of a change from Envy as well. Apex not even near CT Arch this time. Just Kenny there. So Devil and Apex being the dastardly duo, I guess, in pit at the moment. And if the Astralis make this play towards quad, they could find out. There's a little bit of a tag is exchanged. Device and Kenny going to back away and trade off for that one. But there's the duo coming into practice. Devil going to find Dupree down by quad, but it's a quick rotate coming out from Astralis. And actually a very good read so far. Happy's actually considering the options now. Hits the brakes a little around CT Arch. As all of Astralis are back on Banana. Device never really left, but it's down to MBK and Happy to hold this one.
Yeah, it's taken a while with this hit, though, so Happy's going to be back in time. MBK up top, behind the spindle. He grabs one. Device on top of the cart, gets the other, but there's Happy. Comes through the smoke. Only gets 1 kill, but now the rotation is on. Envy on its way in. There is 1 flank as well. That's Apex. Bomb just now getting put down, and Apex is going to get here in time to surprise Device. Free kill.
Line him up, knock him down, and there's Apex again to close this one down, showing that he's got some good aim himself after what was a bit of a questionable performance on that CT Arch a couple of rounds ago. Made up for it not too long ago as well. And then this one's certainly going to do the damage. But Astralis trying to do what they can in that, I guess, at least getting a plan out of it. But at this point, it's 15-7. They needed a lot more than that to get themselves back into this one. We're going to see whatever they can thrown into this round. Very limited money, however. So kind of looking towards maybe going for more utility than they're going for the guns. And Zipnix 3.8 going to go on the rifle with very little else.
And now Kenny just wants to
is he doing
unleash
the
some
dirty?
hurt. Yep, he wants to get aggressive.
Oh, that's full
a
JW.
nice pop flash as well to alt mid. All of them blind. Zipnix, I'm sorry. Sorry, my friend.
Dupree's like, okay, well, at least I get an AK. That's fine. I guess there's always that silver lining, but not exactly what they'd be looking for here. As Devil's be the one watching the push through from Apps, and Kenny missing a bit of a sitter then towards mid, allows Carrigan the chance to catch out Apex, and now we're down to a 4v4. And Astralis going to continue the play towards quad. Carrigan still holding off with the bomb. Dupree and KGB waiting for the jump towards Devil. Devil's yet to really play this balcony. He's been generally in towards pit, so this could change things. Nice little counter flashes coming out from EnVyUs, but it's Kenny to find KGB. There's Devil coming into the action. Kenny can't quite get the follow-up towards Carrigan as comfortably, but the Tech 9 will do just as much as it has 1,000,001 bullets, and he doesn't need that many for Device. So, a good turnaround from Envy after what was a shaky first map.
Yeah.
The second looked a lot better.
You can just see the impact that MBK can have on a game. He had a really sick first half to really propel him to a big lead, and then Kenny comes alive on that CT side there towards the end. Apex as well on that rap side, despite that defense looking shaky at times.
Yeah.
But Devil, that was a really good game. That was probably his biggest test he's had so far in this lineup. He's now had a few days with them. Also, probably he's had a little bit more time practicing with this level of competition. So starting to get used to it a little bit more. So we're starting to see him come into his own, and I was very impressed.
Yeah, I think he was absolutely solid. That's the main thing. You never saw Apex or Kenny have to make up for him maybe not performing as much on that CT side. Lovely little kind of crossfires coming out to play. Solid as you like, but again, it was MBK that stood out to me there. But I wonder who stood out towards the analysis test. God, I don't know what's going on today. I can't speak. But let's head out to the analysis test to take it away from me so I can take this mic away from my face.
Yes, we'll be doing that soon. Don't worry. Mitch is going to be stepping in to replace you with sending Mitch in.
The budget caster backup.
The caster backup has been called in. But yes, solid performance from Envy. Finally, win both pistols once again, as they did on Train. This time, they actually backed it up with proper kills, proper tactics. However, I would say Astralis kind of screwed themselves with that double aggressive play down straight down mid when they were on CT side, which obviously gave them the 9-6 first half. But as Lauren just alluded to, MBK, fantastic performance from him. And Devil, we were wondering how he was going to play, how he was going to step into this Kia role, and absolutely delivered.
Yeah, no, he played very well, and he actually come up big in a couple of rounds. CT pistol comes to mind as well. Him and Apex cleaning up that B bomb site. But MBK obviously being the one standing out because he had such a rough first game on Train, and now comes back showing you that, you can never really count him out of it. So that's good to see. Envy kind of looked like just Envy of old in that sense. The tempo was insanely high on their entire T side. I think the first 5 rounds were pretty much done within 30 seconds, that type of thing. And it was extremely hard because you put this kind of weird mentality in Astralis' head that they're not sure how they're going to spend their nades. Oftentimes you would just want to hold back, use your smokes conservatively and try to delay as much as possible. So you're going to get a really awkward and forced execute from the T side. But with Envy being so quick with these contact pushes towards banana, they don't really know what to do with it.
Yeah, and this is the problem with Astralis. The deep B hold they like. You can't do that until your economy is in good fashion. You can't smoke deep, get right down there, which is what Astralis always love to do on B side.
Yeah, and it's a good thing you mentioned that, because pretty much when they had success on their CT side was when they had a good economy in store. They had an op on device, and device would go banana to find that first pick. That's pretty much how they found their success on the CT side for the better part of it. When they couldn't do that, they got bogged down or just caught off guard, and that's not going to hold versus a team like Envy.
Yeah, I mean, 13th round as well, we saw the ace come out from MBK. We sort of alluded to it. He's lifted a bit, but not just lifted. I think he was doing a lot on both sides of the map. You saw his push towards construction there with a very nice pop flash in. Just what you like. And, of course, holding on CT side, that B side was pretty much locked down for the most part. You saw conservative peaks, and Astralis staggered themselves a little bit. As I was sort of talking to Vendetta, picking his brain a bit earlier, and we definitely could see the Astralis pushing to be staggered themselves out a little bit there. They weren't effective at baiting out the smokes or any of the stall mechanics for Envy, and they were forced to just bustle their way in one way or another, and obviously were cut down. Apex and Devon multiple times intercepted them quite easily on that A side too.
Yeah, solid stuff. So they split 1-1. Envy and Astralis. Train was very much in Astralis' favor. Could have been a much bigger score, but it was all Envy on Inferno. Coming up next, it's going to be G2 versus Virtus Pro, and a head-to-head. It's going to be on Train and Overpass. Don't go in here, guys. We'll be back after the break.